Once again, my name is Drew, and today we are going to talk a bit about Stronghold Kingdoms. A viewer asked how to set up catapults a bit more efficiently. Now, the thing about catapults is there's many different factors to be put into consideration when you are wanting to place them. Um, is the castle going to be full? As in, are there going to be towers right here on the edge of the white line? Would you like to kill what's in the keep? How many catapults do you have? There's a lot of different factors, but I'm going to teach you how to do it pretty efficiently. Again, it depends on how many catapults you're using. So I'm going to use 100 catapults, 125 catapults, and 150 catapults to show you that there are many different ways to set up these catapults. So let's start with the 100 catapults. And now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have the 1x5 here. It's the you click the catapults and then you click this line right here. And now it'll put actually a bit more than 5, but and you want to try to make sure that it's I try to make it at least 2 lengths behind, because you want space for your troops to be there, because you don't want your catapults to be on the front line for the pitch, because if pitch falls on them they'll die. And once you set this up, you just start lining them up right behind each other. And while this is going on, you got to keep in mind that you don't want to go too far back, because catapults don't have that good of range. Like right now, I still have about 20 catapults to go, and I'm probably gonna need to put a bit more over here. Let me just put 3 more over here. And now, as you can see, my catapults are all done. So now I'm gonna select all the catapults. Now this, I click and I hold down, and then I drag my mouse over. And when this happens, you can see all the catapults are just aimed directly in front of them. Now, while this screen is selected, you can right click and it'll aim all the catapults that are currently selected. Now, a good thing to do is try to get them as far forward as they can while they're all selected. Now, right here, this is pretty much where they all can go, where they can all aim. And then once I have this selected, I'm going to select the front middle, and I'm going to aim those a bit deeper. I'm going to select the front side, put those a bit deeper. And I'm going to do the front left and put those a bit deeper as well. Now, my aim is always to try to hit the keep, but say for instance I was the first army hitting a full castle, I don't want it to go this deep because I know it won't. So it'll be a lot of wasted catapults not aiming correctly. But for the sake of argument, this is what we're doing. And then once you have the catapults placed, the troop placement, you can put the pikemen in the front, and then you always want archers behind your catapults, because you don't want them to get killed by the sally forth if they come off through the side back here, or if the town earler's guild is back here. So now once that is set up, you can click launch, and it should kill it. Well, it won't kill it, but it'll attack it. And now let's go ahead and set up the 125 catapult one. Alright, now that we have the 100 catapult, that is the most common for killing AI castles and a lot of times attacking people. Now, if you want a bit more of a larger army that could do a lot more damage, you can do this. You can set up 125 Catapults Army. Now, with this one, remember in the 100 catapults, we started with 2 lengths behind. We're only going to do 1 length behind on this one because there are a bit more. And when there are a bit more, you always want to try to get closer. And keep in mind, if you do send these 125 catapults, they are going to do quite a bit of damage. Even if your catapult firing rate is not that high, whether it's in your parish or your regular research, 125 catapults will still do more damage than 100 catapults. But 100 well-aimed catapults will do better than 125 poorly aimed catapults. So let's go ahead and finish setting this up, and we're going to use the same technique that we used in the first one. We're going to click, hold, and then drag it across all of the catapults, and then we're going to go as far as they can go. Now with this one, we're going to be a bit more lenient. Now, if you can see, the back part of the catapults are still not aimed quite that well, but we're going to keep it like this, and then we're going to do the front. Well, let's do the front middle. We're going to do front middle, and then we're going to do front right. and then front left. Okay. Now, as you can see, there are a little bit of catapults still facing forward. We can fix that later. Now, as you remember, while we were setting this up, we still have quite a bit of catapults back here. Now with this, you can just select them and then keep right-clicking until you can find a place that they can all hit the furthest. And then you can just randomly select on catapults. Now this really depends on how much time you have and what it effectively is doing. Because with the manage formation screen, you can save this formation here. So say for instance I wanted to save at 125 catapults, okay? I click save, and now if I click cancel attack and I click it again, alright, all you do is you click the manage formation screen on the right hand side, and as you can see you can store different formations, and the one that we just made, the 125 catapults, is right here. All we do is we double click on it, and as you can see in the lower left hand corner, the catapults are already placed. Now a great thing about this is it saves the aiming of them too. So as you can see, most of our catapults are already aimed. Now we can go through and we can go through each one individually and make sure that they're the deepest or the best aimed that they can be. But it really depends on, like I said before, the time. But with this one, it's pretty much set up, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put the pikemen in the front or the swordsmen, whichever you have, and then the archers in the back. Now, again, you want the archers behind the catapults in any way that you can. That way, you just protect them as much as you can. You also want to try to get archers on the sides of them, just in case there are troops coming along, like the outsides here. That way, they don't come in directly into your catapults. You want to try to surround your catapults. Alright, so now that we've seen this, let's check out the 150 catapult one. Alright, so now that we have gone through the 100 catapults and the little less common 125 catapult, we're going to go straight to the rocker army. And that's the 150 catapult, and this is the army that you really want to use when you want to do a lot of damage. Now, if someone has a carded castle, this won't do as much damage as you want to, but a lot of times it will still do a hell of a lot of damage. Now, remember with the first two, we wanted the catapults a bit off the line. With this one, we don't have the room for it, so we're going to put it straight on the line. And a lot of people put it a bit off the line like this, just because so you could fit a row of pikemen or whatnot in there. I don't see it as efficient because the pikemen have to get in there anyways. The extra space needed for the catapults is actually quite needed. And as you can see, we've already placed about 75 catapults. So we're still placing the catapults here. And now I always leave a space in the middle open for archers to be there, because just in case the peasant hole is directly in the middle of the catapults, they at least have a bit of a chance to kill the peasant hole, the tunnelers guild, before they destroy too many catapults. Alright, so now that that's placed, you can see that this back row is about at the same length as it is with the 125 catapults. So now we're just gonna click and drag like before, and then we're gonna aim. Now, this is pretty much like the 125 catapults. We're gonna be a bit lenient about the ones in the back because we can just aim those. Now that we have that, we're gonna do front middle, then we're gonna do front right, then we're gonna do left front. Alright, now that we have that, we have the little stragglers in the back. We're gonna put those. We're gonna click and drag and get those selected, and then we're gonna right click until we can find the furthest place that they can go. Now, I think there was some back here too, yeah. So we're gonna do the same thing there. And now, if you want, you can just click around in the corners because that's normally where it is. And then once we have that selected, now remember you wanted the archers in the middle, so you're gonna click the archers, and then you're gonna click the 5x5 pattern. You're gonna put them there. And of course, you always want the archers in the corners as well, and then behind. Now, the thing about this is you don't have any pikemen directly in the middle and the front, so you want them like this. Okay? And then once that's set up, You click send, and it should do quite a bit of damage if you look 150 catapults. Here, I'll go ahead and I'll send this one, and then I'll send back with the report. Now, this is a wolf's castle that I haven't scouted, so let's see what it does. Now, as you can see, I've pretty much run out of space, so I'm going to put a little bit of archers back here in these corners, more of a distraction. Alright, then I'm going to send that out, and I'll show you the results. Alright, so the attack has returned, and as you can see, I did lose quite a bit of troops, only because I haven't scouted this this wolf castle, so I was not set up to attack this kind of wolf castle. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the report, and you'll see. Now, right away, this isn't good, because it's quite open right here in the middle, and from there, the Sally Forth can go right for my catapults. Because the one thing you got to remember is, Sally Forth have a priority system. Now, first they prioritize the catapults, and then they prioritize archers, and then after that, it's whatever troop is closest. So as you can see, they came right for my catapults, and took out quite a few. Now, also, as you can see, my catapults are killing the things in the keep quite easily. And the archers back here and in the corner back here are doing a great job of distracting the ones in the back. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pause this. Now, as you can see, my catapults are not, they're aimed deep for where they are, but they're also killing most of my troops. If you look in the middle here, most of those troops that are taking damage because of my catapults. That's one thing that you got to be wary of when you are sending a catapult attack. You have to know what the castle looks like when you send the attack, because otherwise you'll get something like this, to where most of your troops that died, they died because of you. Now, if I knew the castle was open, or even if it was like this, I probably would have sent the 100 Catapult Army, and I would have aimed it a bit deeper and made sure mostly every catapult was aimed at the keep. That way, they don't shoot at my troops or hit my troops until they are in the keep, and the battle's pretty much won at that point. But go ahead and finish this out, and as you can see, my guys just pretty much run in there. Alright, so yeah, that has been placing catapults efficiently. Just keep in mind that you need to place the catapults first, because if any other troops are placed, it'll mess up the way the catapults are aimed. Actually, let me go ahead and just show you that real quick. Alright, so if you already have troops placed, let's just place some pikemen here. And then let's pretend like we're setting up a catapult army. I'm only going to do the first row so you can see. Now, say I want to do exactly how I aimed all the catapults before. Pretend that there's catapults all in the back here. So when I hold down and then I drag, see how it selects those troops first? It doesn't allow me to select the catapults unless I do it without mass selecting any other troops. So when you're placing your catapults, or when you're aiming your catapults, make sure that they are the first things placed and the first things aimed. Because with any other troop there or even near it, you won't be able to place them, you won't be able to aim them efficiently. Alright, now remember, also once they're selected, you can right click to aim them. So once they're selected, all you need to do is just right click and it'll aim every single one of them. You don't have to individually select them and then right click to make sure that they're aimed. Alright, so once again, this has been Drew. Please stay tuned for the next coming videos. I am taking suggestions, so if you have any suggestions for videos, let me know, because after the monkey video, I'm kind of bone dry on ideas. So let me know.
Stronghold Kingdoms. The battle has just begun.